Hello everyone, welcome back to another aircraft model store review, and today we have got another JC Wings aircraft, this being a 1/200 scale Boeing 737-800 in the Ryanair Boeing colour scheme, registration EI-DCL. So before we get into this video, make sure you go and check the description down below for any information that you might have missed, and a link to our website with all that we sell at Aircraft Model Store. Let's get straight into the video and have a look at this model. So here we can see on the front of the box, we've got the Ryanair harp, Ryanair, the side-on drawn image of the aircraft, Boeing 737-800. We've got the sort of Ryanair scheme at the bottom here, Boeing licensed product, and a 1/200 scale die-cast model aircraft. On the bottom, we have got the side-on image of the aircraft, and this is another variant where we can have flaps down or flaps up. As you can see by the ticked box there, XX2496 is the product code for the flaps up variant, which is what we have here. 1/200 scale die-cast model aircraft. On the side, there is nothing there. On the top, got Ryanair, 1/200 scale model aircraft. And the same then on the opposite side, because it's a slide off cover, as you can see. Ryanair along the top, some dimensions of the aircraft on the back, JC Wings, and all of the sort of warnings, and then some specifications on the 737-800, as you can see. So what we'll do now is we will slide the model out and we will get this out of its box. Okay, so here we have the model out of the box, and as you can see here we have got some landing gear replacements. So basically what that means is that you can take off the landing gear of the model, and this item does actually come with a stand, it being a 1/200 scale model. It does come with a stand, which I'll show you here now. So as you can see, this is the stand, so it's got a printed white base with it, and then you have then got the metal piece here, which goes then inside of the stand, which we'll have a little look at later on in the video. So basically what you can do is take off the landing gear of the aircraft, which we've got on now, and then from there on pop it onto the stand and have it in multiple different configurations. So what we'll do is we'll have a closer look at the model in detail, and then we'll move on to some other little features. So now I'll go over the details of this model, starting obviously as usual from the left hand side of the aircraft. So you can see here the cockpit windows and the nose cone, and the 737-800 titles. This livery is quite a strange one. Basically Ryanair sort of took this aircraft on, still painted in the original Boeing colours, and basically just repainted the tail and put some of their markings on it. So this is, majority of it is the Boeing house colours livery. So as you can see, we've got the front boarding door just here, the small marking where the air stair comes out, obviously Ryanair having their own air stair, so that is the little box below the door, is just that there. You can see CL Charlie Lima on the landing gear doors, which is the final letters of the registration, this aircraft being EI-DCL. You can see then the Boeing text on the underneath of the windows, the Boeing titles, and we have an antenna on the bottom. Moving a bit further down then, you can see the landing light and the number 1 engine, with just in the top corner here the beacon light and another antenna just in the corner there, and then the CFM engines just here as well, with some nice detail, and the landing gear just down below the wing there. You can see the blue fairing on it, the overwing emergency exit doors. If you roll it further down a little bit, then you'll be able to see the winglet, which is just here, which has got the red navigation light, the mixed sort of livery on the winglet here, the sort of blue and white of the colours. Then looking to the rear of the fuselage, you can see obviously the windows following along. Above the window line, we have got the Ryanair logo and text. the nice blue shifting along the bottom, the rear boarding door, the Irish flag, and the registration, which is EI-DCL, Echo India Delta Charlie Lima. The elevators come in here towards the back, and then obviously the regular Ryanair harp design on the tail. Actually tilting it at quite a nice angle, we can see here then the APU exhaust on the back. The elevators, we actually have a little antenna down below, as you can see. Obviously the Ryanair harp following the regular Ryanair design livery, and then just some of the elevators. I can't actually see a logo light on top of the elevators, so they might not have popped that on there, but as you can see, some nice detail overall on the back of the aircraft, especially with the rudder going down here. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera. And then obviously the nice little APU exhaust, which they have done quite nicely on this particular model themselves. So JC Wings always do quite a good job on the detail, especially on the bigger scales of their models, so this one is no exception. What we'll do now is we'll have a quick little look at the opposite side of the aircraft, usually the same but just with some of the cargo door markings, but nonetheless we'll have a little look. So as you can see, it's pretty much all the same on the opposite side. Just down here we have got the front cargo door, and on the back then you can see the rear cargo door and the emergency overwing exits just there. And just really quickly we can look at the wing markings on the top down. So you can see they've got the emergency exit markings for the overwing exits. The flaps and spoilers are all showing up here, and then we've got obviously the beacon light and some more antennas along the top, and the leading edge flaps, or slats should I say, along either side. So yeah, some very nice detail as well, especially along the top section of the wing. And we can have a quick look at the underbelly of this particular model and see what it's got in store. So you can see not an awful lot to show below the aircraft, but you can see the registration EI-DCL down below. The APU exhaust maintenance port at the back on the top, the beacon light underneath, where the landing gear gets stowed into here, these two small holes, and then obviously the stand holder is just below, and you also get a nice view here of the underneath of the engines with the markings and details, and the landing gear and such like that with the antennas on either side. So what we'll do now is I'll pop it on the stand and we'll take a look at what it looks like. Okay, so now what I've done is I've popped it on the stand and taken the landing gear off. I haven't put the landing gear covers on. That's why you can probably see a bit of an empty gap up here, because I haven't actually put the landing gear covers on. I've just taken the gear off. But you can see how you can display this now with it being on the stand to make it look like obviously it's in flight. So if you pop the landing gear attachments in and then close the landing gear doors with the parts you pop in the front, that little empty space there will be covered in and it will flow nice and flush with the fuselage. But I haven't done that, obviously, just for sake of video. I wanted to show you guys what it looks like on the stand without the landing gear, and I think it looks quite nice. It's a very good and sturdy stand that they've popped on this. It gets into position very nice and easy, and as you can see, it's got a very nice printed base on the front saying what aircraft type it is, what aircraft and what scale it is, which I think is a very nice touch. It is one of the better stands that I have seen that's got a little bit more detail and care taken into them. Obviously, sometimes you can just get some plain white stands or plain wooden stands, but I definitely think having a printed base on it makes a difference and looks quite nice. So there we go, that is it showing on the stand. And again, you can choose which configuration you want. Maybe if you even change your mind one day and want to swap out and put the landing gear back in, as long as you have them in a nice safe place, then you can for sure pop the landing gear back in, even take it off the stand and just display it normal. But you have the option to do that with this model, which I think is a very, very good decision from JC Wings to implement. So there we go, that is it on the stand. So there we have it then, the 1/200 scale Ryanair 737-800 in the cross Boeing livery from JC Wings. I personally really like this model myself. I think it's a bit of a difference from having maybe a regular Ryanair plane. you can definitely have a switch up here, or maybe if you've already got a regular Ryanair aircraft, this one would suit him very well with having a bit of a twist and variety within the collection. And yeah, the detail on it is really good, very fine details, even little small things that people might not even notice. And having the ability to swap out the landing gear and have it just on its own on the stand is a very good idea as well. And the stand is also very good itself. It's got nice printed base, as I said, very sturdy metal area that goes into the bottom of the aircraft very firmly, so you know it's not going to fall out. And I think that also does make a difference with the model. Again, it's up to you whether you want to have the flaps down version or the flaps up version. As showcased in the video, we have got the flaps up variant, but again, it is also up to you. So all the links are down in the description below for our website where you can find this model. And let us know what you think of it as well in the comments below. Or if you have any videos that you might want us to do, any models that you might want us to review, then also please let us know, because we can get those sorted for you without any issues. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next review. Take care and stay safe.